Hello and welcome to the Rockies Now Podcast. It is, I guess, a more of a weirder edition of the podcast today. I am on a remote location, undisclosed location somewhere else, away from my home, away from my mic. But we have Sarah back on here tonight. Sarah, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Not
Hanging in there
not
from
gonna
the fly,
complain
from the flies.
except for this fly.
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling Sarah I'm in Michigan right now on vacation, and there's a lot of mosquitoes, so my legs are covered in mosquito bites. So that's when you know that you've hit summer, and the summer season's already around you. Humidity,
Yeah.
especially up here in Michigan, it's pretty high. But vibes are up a little bit higher than normal, especially since the last few weeks. I think the last time we were on, we were talking about how the Rockies were like at rock bottom. We had that long losing streak,
Mhm.
and the Rockies were starting to improve a little bit. But yeah, Sarah, let's jump right into it, shall we? We got the Cubs series that just ended yesterday. A little disappointing because when you think about it, the Rockies were really just like 2 innings away from sweeping the Cubs. And talk about game one. The Rockies had a couple run lead over the Cubs, and then all of a sudden it's just like we didn't even know how to pitch. Cole Carrigg had that what would have been a game winner home run. I think was it in the ninth or eighth inning. I think.
Eighth inning.
Um,
Yeah.
and that was brutal, but it was great to see though the bat flip. I don't know if you saw the bat. I know some people on here or listening or watching might have seen that, but that was great to see. But yeah, Sarah, game one was just a gut wrenching loss because we had that, and then like Vodnik, Halverson, they couldn't get the job done again. Like I said, and Mejia as well. Like they could not throw strikes whatsoever. It was just horrible to watch, and it just like, guys, you threw that away.
Yeah. They really handed it straight over to the Cubs. And I mean, you could say the same for part of that A's series as well.
Hmm.
The thing that I am liking that I'm seeing, and poor Cole Carrigg. I mean, every time this kid gives us a home run, to take the lead, the bullpen comes in and blows the game. Like I don't know if somebody's got some secret beef with Cole or what's going on, but if Cole hits
Oh,
a home run, watch out whoever's getting put into the game. Like something's
yeah,
going on there.
yeah.
It was pretty cool to see even though it was in the Las Vegas ballpark, which is a minor league park. It was cool to see that 23 run show that the Rockies put on Sunday. Um, but man, it's nice to see. I feel like we're starting to see a little bit more consistency offensively there. But the only thing is, like, it's early in the game, and then we're not seeing near as much towards the end of the game. And then the bullpen is coming in, and just what happened to that bullpen we started the season out with that had the 1.67 ERA? Where are those guys? Like, I need them back soon.
I know, right? Like, well, was it Chris on Instagram said the other day in one of our posts is like, what happened to my great bullpen I predicted it earlier in the preseason, Um, but yeah, like you were talking about the 23-9 win in Vegas. I made this
Mhm.
post, and I don't regret posting, and I think a lot of people would agree with this, is that no baseball game or Major League Baseball game should be played in that ballpark.
No,
I'm sorry, but it's just
no.
ridiculous. You're basically playing in like a backyard. I mean, it's just, and
Mhm.
then you look at the Brewer series that happened, I think, like previously to that series, and then,
The Brewer
I
series was
mean,
insane. Like, they
yeah,
shouldn't be
great
playing.
highlights though. Great highlights
Mhm.
for the highlights though. But it was unbelievable. It got to the point where I'm like, are we playing in a wiffle ball field? Like, what is happening right now?
Right. It felt like it.
And
Like, it was
yeah,
fun, and I think
yeah,
that's something even though it's hard to take that game seriously because of where it was played and just because of how that ballpark plays, it's hard to take that game seriously. But at the same time, the Rockies, the team and the fans needed a fun game like that because that game was a blast. Like, it was so
it was
much fun to
awesome.
watch that game and watching the balls just flying out everywhere. That's what you think of when you think of Coors Field, is that that's what you should be seeing. So it was
Yeah.
kind of cool to get that day where we did get to see that and just have fun with
Mhm.
it, even though it was ridiculous that whole series was, it was still
Yeah.
nice to get to see that and just to have that day where you didn't have to think about how bad everything is going.
Absolutely, yeah. I think I saw somewhere, and I think Spilly, who had a great day in the finale, he was out in the pool, and I think was it somebody said that they kicked him out for doing a
Yeah, they
cannonball?
kicked him out for doing a cannonball. He said that he
Oh
has
my
now
goodness!
been kicked out of the Bellagio because he tried to run into the fountains, which you can't do that.
Oh,
He's been kicked out of Treasure Island, something involving the pirate ship there. And then he got kicked out of the pool at the Las Vegas ballpark because he did a cannonball. I guess there were signs that said you're not supposed to, but live your
that's
life,
sad.
Spilly. I'll post your bail.
Wow. We'll bail him out. We'll bail him out. Yeah, yeah, no. I think I saw somewhere too that I think their new ballpark that's going to be opening. I think in 2028, whatever is going to be open. There's no really set date for it, but they're trying to for the 2028 season. I think they said the elevation is still going to be like either 1 or 2,000 feet higher than Coors Field. So it's still going to be high up there. I mean, it's insane. So
Mhm.
the Rockies, Sarah, will have a partner, I guess, in altitude. And for Vegas, which is kind of crazy to think about because Vegas is so hot. But I think
Well,
where the
and
stadium is located, I think it's just going to
is
be a little
that
bit higher than.
is that park going to have a retractable roof, or is it going to be permanently domed just because of
I I
the
think
weather there?
that's a good question, and this is when I wish we had Tom on tonight. But I want to say it's going to be retractable. But I'm like, why would you want? I mean, maybe in the fall if you have playoff games there. But still, it's like
No.
during the fall for people that live in that area, it's still like 90, 100 degrees in the fall in
Oh,
Vegas. You know,
it's nasty
it's
out there.
insane. Yeah, so
And
I'm
you're
like,
gonna
I would assume it's yeah, I'm assuming it's retractable.
I haven't I saw it somewhere at one point in time, but I don't know. I would have
Yeah.
to I keep meaning to have I have some friends that live in Vegas and I keep meaning to tell they don't go to the strip very often, but I'm always like, I want pictures of that ballpark. I want to see
Hmm.
if this thing's actually getting built or what's happening. But that's something
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm curious about that. Because you would almost think
yeah,
that you wouldn't even need it to be retractable. Like you could just build a permanent roof on that thing,
yeah,
which
yeah,
would that
yeah.
kind of would that kind of neutralize the elevation?
Maybe
Or will
and
that still
maybe
play
I'm
into it?
doing. Yeah, maybe I'm still thinking that it's retractable, but I might be completely wrong because you make a good point, Sarah. It's just like with the temperatures year round and everything, and the
Mhm.
altitude, the elevation, just have a full roof. And we got
Oh,
Wild in here. Maybe he has.
Wild's got our
There we
back.
go.
Fixed
Okay,
climate controlled roof.
okay.
Okay.
So it is going to be, and so not retractable. So there we go.
That makes sense.
Um,
So
yeah. Well,
will that take the elevation out of play, or will the elevation still have an impact on the movement of the ball even with that closed roof on
I
it?
think it's still going to have an effect on the ball. I mean, no question, they're going to have a humidor like Arizona. We
Yeah.
have one. A lot of other teams like that have higher elevation already have one. But like again, I've said this before on the pod that if you've seen the graph, like there's somebody made a graph years ago, and it's somewhere out there you can find it. But like the elevation of each MLB team, the Rockies are like way up here.
Mhm.
Everybody else is like down here. But Las Vegas, I think, is even higher than that. And while you can correct me if I'm wrong about that, but the Rockies in Vegas are going to be right up there. But yeah, no question, it's going to be in play even with a retractable roof. It might have some effect to it, and that's why there's been some people out there saying that Coors Field should get a retractable roof, which would be a massive project, and I don't think it will ever get done just because it's perfect
I
as
don't
it
know how
is.
you would
And,
even do that.
right, with the sunsets
Wind
and everything,
patterns. Mhm. You'd
yeah,
ruin
we'll
it.
be limited, but yeah, yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, interesting, yeah. But like again, there's still. I mean, I think now since they've broken ground and there's been progress, it's going to happen
Mhm.
because for a while we were wondering, is this ever going to happen? They supposedly broke ground, but it's official, so it's happening, which is kind of sad for all the Oakland fans. But I will say though, there was some good turnout of A's fans in Las Vegas. I will say that,
Yeah,
minus the
there really
third game.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Um, I think the thing that I think people are still kind of not really going all in on the ballpark itself on is I know even after they broke ground and some work was being done, like you've been able to see what looks like work being done anyway for well over a year now. But there was something about the funding had not been fully secured. I don't know if that's changed. I haven't seen any updates on it. Any A's fans
yeah,
that may happen to catch this, if you have updates, let us know what's happening because this is a wild situation. But
hmm
if he does not get the ball, if Fisher does not get the ballpark completed by a certain time, he has to pay Las Vegas like millions, and they
yeah, and I don't think
retain
he'll
like
want he he won't want
mm-mm.
to do that.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
I think they even retain there's a lot of right there was a I read a big old article on it. It's been over a year ago, but there was a lot of moving parts in with getting that ballpark built and where money was coming from and where money was going to go and if certain money didn't show up, what was going to happen and it was just like so you're building something, but what
is it gonna happen?
happens if this money
Yeah,
doesn't come through? Like, is it just gonna be a
yeah,
half-finished stadium sitting there for 20 years? What happens? But, I mean, that's their
yeah.
problem, I suppose.
Thank goodness I don't. We don't have to worry about that. You know. Yeah. It's just wow. Yeah. Anyhow, let's like kind of jump back into the Cup Series here. Um, but yeah,
Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, it was a great conversation, and wow, thanks for giving us the update on the ballpark and everything. But yeah, no, game one again, it was hard to watch. I mean, it was just like when I
Mhm.
saw that we couldn't throw a strike, I'm like, yeah, that's the game. Bases loaded, nobody out. It's just like the best we could do is get a double play, but still, they're gonna win the game. I mean, it's just like at this
Yeah.
point, just turn it off. And I saw the score. I'm like, yeah, game two, much better. I was still worried though late because we were up like five
Oh,
to two, I think. I'm like, oh great, here we go. We're gonna just watch the bullpen blow it again. But then I'm like, oh wow, Sensatoa looked pretty good. And then Jaden Hill got the save. And by the way, I think that was his first career save. I think. Um,
I think you
I need
might
to
be
double
right.
check on that. But shout out to Jaden Hill, LSU product. But that was a much better game. Obviously, it was much more enjoyable to watch. I didn't have to pull
Mhm.
out my hair or bite on my fingernails that are already gone from watching baseball this year. Um, but yeah, no, it was TJ Rumfield though, Sarah. Like 10 home runs now in the year, one of the best rookies in
Mhm.
baseball. I mean, he still has a ways to go, I think, before he can be clear number one for rookie of the year because you have JJ Weatherholt. He's having a great year. Sal Stewart is another one of those
Yeah.
guys. Um, and then obviously the guy from Pittsburgh, Connor Griffin. I think he's going to be a favorite as well. So he still has a ways to go. I think because it's like well he plays for the Rockies, so we won't pay attention to him. And that's why. And I
Oh,
want to
yeah,
jump
it's
into
gonna
this
be
very
so
quickly.
hard.
Hunter Goodman, like why is he fifth in voting for catchers in the
Mm.
National League? It's just like Sarah and I, we were both. I think we're both upset over that, but it's just like at this point, I think a lot of us can agree that like fan voting needs to stop. It needs to go be put
Yeah.
to an end. It's really a popularity contest now, no question. And don't get me wrong, Drake Baldwin deserves to be number one, and that's why he clearly deserves it. But like when you see Will Smith over Hunter Goodman or Real Muto over Hunter, it's just like where like how is this
It's
happening? I don't agree with it.
It's so hard, especially Will Smith. It's simply, they're larger markets. That's all it is. Because obviously, Will Smith and JT Realmuto are not having anywhere near the year that Hunter has. Even though Hunter had that little stretch there where you could have thrown the ball into the dugout and he would have swung at it. Like it's
Yeah,
he had that little stretch, but I mean, he's sitting at are we at 21 now? Is that right?
yeah, yep.
21 home runs. Come on, who else is even touching that? Like, as
Yeah,
far as catchers go, what are we doing?
yeah. In terms of stats, he's having a better year than he did last year, Sarah, which is insane. I mean, his average is still
Mhm.
not pretty. Like it's not like, oh, that's amazing, but he has more home runs by I think a few by from compared to last year. Um, it's just how is he not in there? And I would say that he could be in the conversation for home run derby, which I would love to see.
Oh, that'd
Um,
be great.
I think he would do well, especially in Philadelphia. Like, come on!
Hmm.
I mean, we want to see it. It's been a while since the Rockies had a representative home run derby. I think it would be really cool, and
Did you see they
maybe we'll.
changed the format on the Derby?
I
They
I
got rid of the
like it.
clock. Hmm.
I like it because it brings back the old out system, which I think was more exciting to it. I'm still curious to see the tweaks to it because they did make some other tweaks to it as well that might be a little bit different. But I think it's pretty much going back to what it used to be, like
Yeah.
2013, 2014, when they went over to the clock. And I remember like when they I think the first year that they introduced the clock, I think was in Cincinnati when Todd Frazier won that. That was a good home run derby. And I think some people wanted to see a little bit of a change, but now it's just like I feel like the home run derby has become more of a snooze fest. It's like, oh, we're seeing 34, 40 home runs by this one guy in one round. It's just like we want to see
Yeah.
home runs actually count, right? Don't get me wrong, I love seeing home runs, but when you see, it felt like it was so spread out. Like you see one guy win by like 20 home runs. It's just like, okay,
Hmm.
where back in the day, I mean, it would be you would have multiple tiebreakers. But so I'm excited for it. It kind of brings back some older home run derby style stuff. I'm for it. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty fun. I definitely like getting rid of the clock in that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it would be really cool. Um, Ted says he'd rather see TJ Rumfield. I don't think so. I don't think
No.
that's Goody is just so much more like he's just naturally he's got it. Like and TJ
Yeah.
don't like TJ's got a great swing to him, but I just don't see
Yeah.
now. I mean, it kind of goes into our next topic a little bit, but I mean, we do have a couple of other guys that are knocking on the door that would be pretty fun to see in the home run derby at some point in time.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Cole Carrigg, I mean, had another solid game three in that final game yesterday, despite the Rockies' loss, made an incredible throw from the
Mhm.
outfield. And there were some people saying, "Hey, replace Carrick with Doyle." I mean, I'm not going to go that far yet, but Cole Carrick, though, Sarah. I mean, he's had a great like first week in the big leagues. Now I think over a week now.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know when the announcement is going to be announced. I think it's like either is it like Monday whenever they announce like player of the week or whatever. I won't be surprised if he's on there. Maybe TJ Rumfield as well. But like, I mean, like a lot of people have been saying it. Like I know Drew Goodman and Spilly have been talking about it on the TV side, and this is who Cole Carrigg is. He has his hair on fire whenever he
Mhm.
plays, and he's just an incredible guy to watch. And I think
Yeah.
he's a favorite for a lot of people, and now he's becoming one of my favorites. And he couldn't care less whether you're down like 5 or 6 runs. Cole Carey's going to go out there and do his best. And I mean, and then he got his first stolen base too. I think the
Mhm.
other night as well. So the guy's playing, and then Sterlin Thompson, another guy that I want to mention too. I know Uncle Ted said in the comments. I mean, Thompson had 2 home runs last night, and I was staying tuned in the game because I'm like, what if he hits a third home run?
Mhm.
Um, and Thompson just got called up a few weeks ago. So,
And
and
and that was
he
his
struggled a little bit. Yeah.
his first two big league home runs too.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
see, I
And
don't.
yeah.
Yeah, Ted says Sterling will be better. I mean, I don't know. Sterling is
We'll
a little
see.
bit. Yeah, I would just have to
Yeah.
say we'll see at this point. Sterling's a great ball player. Obviously, he has earned a spot
Yeah.
up here, but um, Sterling, just from even just what last year, watching a lot of stuff that was happening in Albuquerque, he was a little streaky. Like Cole Carrigg
Yeah.
has just he as soon as they put him in Albuquerque this season, I mean, he's been on fire the
Hmm.
entire season so far. Like I haven't seen him go more than a game or two without 3 or 4 highlights coming from the isotopes that are Cole Carrigg, Cole Carrigg, Cole Carrigg. And it's just like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh," like he's just been absolutely on fire and uh and to that end, I mean, he's got his personality. I really like who he is as a player. He's
Yeah.
very fiery. Caught him with a little hot mic moment after that first home run in the dugout, but I mean,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was fun. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the guys
Yeah.
were just
Yeah.
like, he's got some moxie. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna call it now.
Yeah. He's a human like highlight reel. Like every single game, like he's always doing
Hmm.
something, and that's why you love him so much. I mean, I, because I don't know if you remember, but like when Jordan Beck was playing for Tennessee, and when Jordan Beck was having that great last season with Tennessee, that's what we want to see in Jordan Beck. Is just like we haven't
Hmm.
seen it yet. But when we drafted Jordan Beck, I'm like, that's the type of guy we want, especially when he did that. We're not gonna, show it here on screen, but when he did that move with his hand, his finger,
Hmm.
I'm like, we need a guy like that on the team, and it's just like we haven't
Yeah.
seen that type of guy yet from Jordan Beck. But we're starting to see a little bit from Cole Carrigg, who is a dog, and it's just like
Hmm.
I love players like that, and it's just Cole Carrigg. I mean, it's just like the swag. I'm gonna use the swag word. I just
Cole
love it. Yeah, he's awesome.
Cole has that personality. One of my personal favorite players ever is Josh Donaldson, and Cole
Mhm.
has that personality, and
Yeah.
I love it. That was what I loved about Josh Donaldson was his
Mhm.
personality and how fiery he was and how passionate he got about the game. And I'm seeing glimpses of that, which that was what I wanted from Jordan too. As a Tennessee fan, I could not wait to see that, and then it, like you said, it hasn't happened yet, but Cole has come up
Yeah.
and he is already just fired up. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I love it. But I mean, we
Mhm.
got a couple more guys. We had talked earlier, earlier in the season about who would we see and when. I think we got two more that it's going to be very hard to deny them that opportunity before too much
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah. And we were talking a few minutes before we got started. Charlie Condon. He's like gotten like 6 home runs in like the last 2 weeks or whatever it is, or 10 games. I forget the stat.
Hmm.
And then obviously, you can't go without saying that Albuquerque, one of the best offenses is in the
Hmm.
TSL. They're doing incredible. Ryan Ritter, obviously, we've already seen before, but he just got back. He's back to swinging it as well. So I mean, there's all these opportunities. I'm super excited. Again, you could argue and say Charlie Condon could be up here right now, and um, I think at the start of the year we were like, let's ease the brakes on Charlie Condon, which I still am for. But at the same
Hmm.
time, though, we're at a point in the year where it's just like, why not? I guess because we're seeing so many injuries, Sarah. We're seeing left and right. Somebody's getting injured or somebody's on rehab. Tyler Freeman just came back from getting hit in the head. I was at that game, by the way, when he
Oh
had
my,
that.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
I could hear
terrifying.
that. I was in the club level seats, like near the foul pole, and I could hear it from where I was sitting. I was like, "That's definitely concussion." Like I knew you could hear it off the helmet. At first, I thought it
Mhm,
hit him in the jaw, and I'm like, "Dude, that's a broken jaw for sure." Um,
mhm,
but like, no, it fortunately just got him in the helmet. But yeah, but anyways, you never know when these guys could have the opportunity, and I think they're at the door. I think Condon's at the door. Um, there's no question. It's just like, where is he going to play though? Because you already have Rumfield at first base. Well, there's plenty of outfield spots
mhm.
at this point.
Yeah,
It's rotating. Jordan Beck is still out, but like you said, Moniak is on rehab, so
yeah,
he'll be coming back very soon. But it's like, hey, if these guys are ready to come and play, if these guys are ready, and we're developing these players finally, and we'll talk about that right at the end, because we got a question. But why not? Like, give him a shot. Obviously, we don't want to put him
yeah.
out too early in front of big league pitching, but I mean, already in AAA, you're already like for hitters, you're already facing major league talent. A lot of these guys are doing rehab stints or whatever.
Yeah,
So Condon's already has faced big league pitching, maybe not a whole lot, but he's already faced some big league pitchers.
yeah, and I think the one that I don't wanna see anybody else get hurt, but I don't see how you can not call up Zac Veen soon. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
So he is so
Especially what he's
consistent,
been
and
through. Yeah,
he is so consistent now. He is so I have not seen because I always keep like I've always got my MLB TV app up, and I'll be watching the Rockies game, but I have game day on my phone. And as soon as I see he's getting ready to come up to bat, I switch over and watch because he's changed his stance a little bit. It's not a lot different,
Yeah.
but it is a little bit
Yeah.
different.
Hmm.
He is so much more patient. Like I have only seen him swing at maybe 2 or 3 pitches that I'm like, "What are you doing? Like what was that?" But he's
Like the
making
Tovar
solid
swing.
contact. Yeah. Yeah, he's making great contact. He is just his goal, and you can tell by the way he's approaching every at bat, is to put the ball in play. He is not trying to hit it out. I
Hmm.
will say though, I love that we're starting to see a little bit of his fire come back because you notice in spring training and at the beginning of the season in Albuquerque, it seemed like he was almost really reserved. And we're starting to see a
Yeah.
little bit more. When he's hitting them out, he's blowing kisses to the dugout and like getting a little bit swaggy with it. And I'm like, okay, all right. I like that the personality is coming back too, but he's really putting it all
Yeah.
together. Like I just don't know how. Where does he? Where is his spot? Because he
Yeah.
needs that opportunity again.
Yeah. I do want to mention this because he's not in AAA, but I do want to mention a Rockies prospect. I believe he was drafted last year, and that's Connor Capel in Double A Hartford. The other day, so today's, I think it was yesterday actually, Connor Capel tied a franchise record for the yard goals by smashing 3 home runs in one game, driving in 6 runs to get the win for the yard goats over the Reading Fight and Phils. So that's a 3 homer game. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Connor Capel was drafted last year by the Rockies. And so I'm just double checking. Okay, I take that back. I take that back here. I thought he was a prospect. I'm looking at right now. He's actually 29 years old. So I take everything I just said. He's not a Rockies prospect. He's in the big leagues for a while. Um, so again, I am a little embarrassed because I was like,
he.
this guy,
I was
why
gonna
is he
say
in
I.
Double A? Why is he in Double A? Wow. Okay,
I was
but
sitting there. I recognize that name, but I
yeah,
don't. How do you spell his last name?
Capel. Yeah, 29 years of age.
Oh, he's been in the
Wow,
Braves.
that's
Oh, that's where I recognize him. He's been in the Braves organization.
yeah. Well, first of all, I was like, well, I've never heard of him in the Rockies, so he must be a prospect that we drafted last year. And so that's why I'm like, he's probably a Rockies prospect. And I look at, oh, he was drafted in 2016 by the then Cleveland Indians in the 5th round. Um, wow. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that fact. But anyways, we'll move on from that. But hey, congratulations to Connor. He's been through the grid for a while. But hey, I mean, in his does he have his stats here? Yeah. Okay, as a big leaguer, he's a 278 hitter, 3 home runs, 14 RBIs. So I
Yeah,
don't
he
know.
was just up with
Um,
Cincinnati in 24.
okay. So I'm like, why is he in Double A though? That is like, if he's 20, but hey, would the Rockies have depth and gives them some experience for some of the younger players too in Hartford. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, we were talking about Zac Veen. Yeah, I mean, especially what he's gone through. I mean, I would love nothing more than to see him come up and just do what he does. Like he doesn't have to worry about the pressure that he had on last year, to where
Yeah.
you had to perform well. Where here, just go out and play. I mean, that's who Warren Schaefer is. He's that type of manager. One game at a time. We're not trying to, I mean, yeah, the Rockies would like to win a series, but one game at a time. And I think Warren Schaefer does this almost every single game after they win. It's just one game of 162. Just go out there,
Yep.
play your game, have fun. Zach Veen is one of those type of guys, and I think I'm smiling about this because Zach Veen is the type of guy that I think Warren Schaefer loves, and I know we haven't
Oh,
seen
yeah.
him up yet, but I want to see Zach Veen on the roster before the season's over.
Yeah, Warren has said that Zach is like a son to him, which
Mm,
I was even more just like I was already. You already had me, Warren. Like, well, you don't have to try harder. Like I'm here. I'm in. Like you
yeah.
already bought. Like I'm sold. Like you've already got me. You don't have to keep making it better. Like we're good. Um, Of course, I love Warren's philosophy and I love the way that he plays.
Mhm.
I will say Uncle Ted has said a couple things here about Troy Johnson and TJ Rumfield being overlooked. Ted, where have
Yeah,
you been? We rave about both of those men every single week. We love them. Everybody loves Troy.
yeah.
Troy has been a guest of this show. TJ
Hmm.
we've raved about both of those guys. Man, come on. We give Troy,
Yeah,
especially Troy, we give Troy all the love.
and don't worry. I mean, Troy's the type of guy, and I might want to. Of course, not now because we're in the middle of the season, but definitely in the off season if he stays with, which I hope he does, because if we trade
Mhm.
him, I'm going to be so sad. Like, of course, it'll be good for the future of the Rockies, but I want to see Troy stay here a little bit longer. He's that type of guy that is just like we need him in our clubhouse, you know.
Mhm.
But 100%, like Uncle Ted or Wild, if you're still in here, like we'll try to get him back on here because when he was with Chris during right before spring training, that was just an awesome interview. And he's the type of guy that would like absolutely I want to come back on here. I think he even
Oh,
told Chris that he wants to come back on.
yeah.
So Troy, if you're watching, we would love to have you back on here, and we look forward to it. But yeah, TJ is definitely another guy we want to come on here. But TJ, man, I mean, again, we talked about him multiple times. Like you said, Sarah, like since the start of the year, one of the best rookies in baseball. Like you cannot talk about him. So, um, but yeah, so as we head into our little last segment here, we're just gonna kind of talk about a little bit of the predictions for the Red Sox and Pirates series here. We were talking a little bit briefly about it. Um, I'm a little bit like I started coming out. I'm like, hey, the Pirates are coming into town. Last time they were here, we had the big walk-off game for Brenton Doyle. We were down like the big comeback game. Paul Skeens is pitching game 2 on Saturday. So that is a little bit worrisome because obviously he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. However, he's kind of struggled recently a little bit at times this year, but he still has a ERA under 3. And then you have um, Jones. Jared Jones is pitching. Was it on Sunday or is it tomorrow?
Yeah, Jones is pitching Sunday, and then
And
tomorrow is I just had it up here. Um,
I think tomorrow
mm,
is yeah. I need to pull up tomorrow.
Chandler.
I was looking
It's
at
Chandler.
okay Chandler tomorrow. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't say it's out of the question that we'll win the series. I think we definitely can. Game 2 will be tougher, but like I said the same thing a few weeks ago when the Giants came to town when we won against Logan Webb. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a tough game to win, and we won that game. So, I think the Rockies have a good shot. I mean, look, we competed against the Cubs in all 3 games. Now, I think we definitely should have won the series, but
Mhm.
um, I think there's definitely a shot that we could definitely win the series here. I'm not saying a sweep; it would be nice, but I'll be conservative. Go 2-3 Rocky series win here, and I think the offense is going to stay hot. Especially they were, and that's one thing, Sarah, that's been really really positive. The Rockies' offense on the road this year has been like muchly
Great.
improved from
Yeah, so much better.
last year. And, like we're actually scoring runs. We're not getting shut out every game. And I think there's only been only 1 or 2 games where we've been shut out this year, which
Mhm.
sounds about right, which is insane. And another fun fact, and maybe this is a post idea for tomorrow or something, but the Rockies are the second best offense in the National League West, right after the Dodgers.
How wild is that? So
Mind
that's
blowing.
what makes this whole situation so infuriating. Because if you look at the rest of the West, San Francisco, I don't know what is happening in Atlanta right now. I know Matt Olson ended up playing right field the other night for
Yeah, I thought that
whatever.
was
Like
weird. Yeah,
they were out of bench players. Rowdy Telez was on first. Matt Olson was out in right field. Atlanta is going through it right now. But I think if Atlanta is not in the situation of whatever is happening over there, there's no way the Giants run over them like they did in that series.
no, no,
The Giants are going through it too.
yeah,
Arizona, I mean, they're just kind of. I feel like I don't hear anything about Arizona. Like they're just kind of out here
no,
existing. Like
yeah,
just they're there, but you don't ever hear anything. San
yeah.
Diego, epically. What is does Fernando
They're
Tatis?
they're
He still
horrible.
only has one home run, right?
I think he has 2. He had like a walk-off home run, or I think the other day, but like he only has 2 home runs this year. And then
Yeah,
Machado's hitting under
Manny.
200.
Whew, what
And then
happened there?
and then And then didn't he get suspended just like today or yesterday for having like a misconduct on the field? Like he did something and he got suspended
Oh,
for a game or two.
I don't know if he got.
He did
I
something.
know he got ejected. He threw his helmet. It was an equipment
Oh
something
yeah, fine. It was a fine. It was.
through his
I think it was a
helmet.
fine. Yeah, it was a fine. Yeah, but it
Yeah.
was like misconduct or whatever. I'm like, dude, like, I don't. I'm still shocked that both of them are still together in San Diego after everything that's happened since 2021 when that whole incident happened in the dugout and they fell
Hmm.
apart there at the end of the year. But yeah, I mean, like you said, like Arizona is like they're just setting ducks in the water. They're just existing.
They're just there.
They're like I tweeted out like I think a few days ago, but like I predicted the Diamondbacks are mid, like really mid. I'm like their
Yeah.
offense is decent. Arenado's like doing having a good year, but still to Arenado standards, still not great. I mean he's
Hmm.
having a better year than I think he did last year, but like their pitching is not good whatsoever. Like what a disaster, right? But I mean it's like we already know who's going to win the division, but I will say that it's just shocking that the Rockies have the second best offense in the West, and if the Rockies had
Right.
good pitching, we would be potentially in the
Probably in
conversation,
second place.
probably, which makes it hurt even worse. But
It's terrible. It's terrible to look
yeah,
at that. And
yeah,
I mean, and whoever, what did I know Mason Miller is on the bereavement list right now, which
yeah,
obviously that's not going to be a very extended amount of time out, but whoever they're playing, you better take advantage of that because that's the only
yeah.
thing keeping them afloat is Mason Miller.
He's their best
Can you
player, and
imagine?
he's a pitcher.
Can you imagine if we
Yeah.
had if we had a Mason Miller in Denver? Like,
Oh, I wish every night I wish that.
right? There's been so many times we're in the ninth inning, and I'm just like, oh, what I would not give to have Mason Miller be the
On my
one that is
team.
headed out to the mound right now because oh, which I mean,
That
and
guy,
it stinks so
yeah.
bad because we have such likable guys out in the bullpen. They're also they're super nice. I I love Victor Vodnik. I love him as a person. He's a great guy. But oh my blood pressure spikes every time I see
I don't
him.
know if you saw this comment.
Same with Seth
I don't know if you saw
Halverson.
this comment, but it's like the Rockies social media team, shout out to them. But like every year, it's like a tradition for all the teams for the rookies to go out and get coffee in Chicago. Somebody
Hmm.
commented and said, make sure Bondnick's like hand press the coffee beans for every single coffee. And just like that just made me chuckle. And I think Chris reacted to it, but yeah, I mean, Bondnick, dude, like, love you, but like, get it together. You know, we love you, but you know, you need to get your act together. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, no,
you just never
it's
know what
just,
you're going to get
yeah,
with him. Like sometimes you'll
yeah,
get a great outing, and sometimes you'll get a really going to be. And he can be great through the first two hitters, and then out of nowhere, everything just explodes. And it's like, brother, what is your pitch limit? Like, I need a definite number. And can you
yeah.
get through three guys with that? Because this is what we need from you.
I really like Zach Agnos. Like he's familiar with it. And what's so crazy,
Mhm.
Sarah, is again, Zach Agnos. For those who don't know, Zach Agnos was originally a shortstop prospect, and like when
Yeah.
he was before he was drafted, he played shortstop, and you can see why. He has a really good arm, but again, we'll go back to Cole Carrigg. Cole Carrigg, I think throw yesterday was like more than 98, 99 from the
Yeah.
outfield.
90,
It's
I think it was
insane.
98.9. I saw several people on X that were like, but can he throw that fast at a box
Hey,
60
he
to
probably
70
could.
times?
He probably could. Like, I mean, like I want to see a curveball from Cole, and he could probably spike one in the dirt really well, as best as
I mean,
maybe Marquez, yeah, Senzatella maybe, but
I'm willing
man,
to
like,
try anything at this point in time. Put him on like next time and I don't want us to be in this position, but if we are in a position where we need a position player to pitch, run him out there. Let's just see what
yeah.
happens. Like this could be fun. It wouldn't be
After
a
Brett
fun
Sullivan
situation. It
though,
would be
Brett
terrible.
Sullivan goes first. Brett Sullivan goes first, and then Cole Carrigg. You know,
Matt
So
Sullivan, I think we should just put him in the bullpen. I really do.
100%. Yeah. I mean, he still has a perfect ERA in like 3 or 4 outings. And not to mention,
Yeah.
he already has 4 home runs this year, which is, I think, a
Hmm.
career high, I think. So I love Brett
He's our
Sullivan.
little
And then
Otani.
I know, right? And then, like, again, I don't know if you like, the Rocky social media team did that, like your number jersey, and then they did a tape measure.
Nailed
That
it.
was it. That was nailed it.
That was so
Yeah. I
funny.
mean, these guys are so smart. These guys are geniuses.
I
So
had
I
so
love
many.
it.
I watched that video and I was like, I got a lot of questions because he nailed it. Toby just kept going. Like Toby was going to go all day.
It's like,
Um,
hey, it's 14, not 114. You know.
yeah, Mickey overdid it and then just grabbed it and was like, "Here, there you go." Like you could tell Mickey was like, "I don't want to do this." Warren, I
Yeah.
love that they get Warren in on these. Like you
He
never would
loves
have gotten
them.
Bob Black to do any of this. Warren has so much
No,
fun. Warren
he
nailed it
loves
too,
them.
though.
Oh,
Jaden Hill
he
just
is.
grabbed the tape measure and handed it back to him. Like those were fun. I like what they're doing with some of this stuff.
Yeah, I love this team. Like they have guys that you absolutely cannot like hate at all.
Hmm.
They're such awesome people. But yeah, no. Um, but yeah, Pirates series. I'm excited to see what happens there. Obviously, I think I would be curious to see. I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh's a little bit still like, what happened last time when we came here. We got our, we gave up all those runs and we lost. We were up how many runs I forget now, but and then you talk about the Red Sox. This is a very intriguing series as well. We were talking about it briefly. Obviously, we won't be able to see Trevor. It's just like Trevor Story. We haven't yet to see him get an at bat in Coors Field.
Hmm.
It's insane.
Haven't
It's
been able to
insane.
give him the
Like
ovation.
no ovation yet. And here he left over 5 years ago. No,
Yeah.
4 years ago. 4 years ago. But it's sad, man. I mean, for those who follow me on Twitter or just know me personally, you guys know I'm a Trevor Story stan. I've loved him ever since he was, coming up through the Rockies system. I remember when he made his debut. It's just like it's sad to see my boy Trevor not playing. And again, he has a sports hernia surgery a while ago, and I think he's still out recovering from that. And it doesn't take a short time to heal at all. It takes a while. It takes a while. So
Hmm.
unfortunately, we won't see him, but hopefully, he'll probably. I hope he's in the dugout though. That'd be nice. But yeah, like I think last year or a year or two ago when they came to Coors Field, he was injured. He couldn't play. I think they honored him though. Like he went out and
Yeah.
they did a video. So, but it's just like I want to see him like getting that bat in Coors Field, and we have not seen that yet. So,
Yeah.
but Boston, Sarah, they're also kind of like the Rockies. They're struggling quite a bit. However, I
They're having
do
a
think that
rough
they have.
time.
I think they are improving a little bit, but still, like they're kind of like surprisingly, like this is the thing that I like to see. The Rockies are actually being competitive this year compared to last year. The Rockies are
Hmm.
not too far away behind some of these other bad teams, so that helps us feel a little bit better to talk about Rockies baseball. So that there's other teams that are in this pain. Um, but yeah, Sarah, the Red Sox are also struggling, but. Um, I haven't looked at the pitching matchups because I don't think they're out yet for that series.
Yeah.
Still to be determined. But I think the Rockies could have a decent week here. I think definitely they could like they've been playing a little bit better on the at home than on the road this year. But yet, like I said, their offense has been doing great on the road this year. Keep that going at Coors Field, right?
Hmm.
I mean, bring the offense that you did in Vegas back to Coors Field, and who knows what might happen. And I mean, last year the Rockies won against Paul Skeens. Why not try that again? Do
Yeah.
that again and get some wins here.
What's wild about the Pittsburgh series is that the game that I am the most that I am the most optimistic about is the Skeens game. We have
Oh
gotten
wow,
to him
okay,
at Coors Field before,
yeah,
but you also have to think about we have two of the going by their ERA, two of the worst pitchers in the league going Friday and Sunday, and we have Sugano going Saturday. So from the pitching perspective, that game is really our best bet for a win there.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
Lorenzen has been better these last couple of starts, but they've both been on the road, right?
yeah.
So Coors Field is where death, taxes, and Michael Lorenzen getting absolutely shelled. Like that one makes it
Yeah.
just. I don't trust him yet. He's not in my
Yeah.
circle of trust.
Yeah.
Kyle Freeland hasn't been great. And I
No.
mean, I wish, and I feel really bad for him because he came out so hot until he got
Oh, he was
injured, and he just
unbelievable.
hasn't
Yeah.
he hasn't been able to find it again. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate that for him because I had really high hopes for him after the way he started out. Um, that
Mhm.
injury just it sucks for him. But if I think the one that we is the most sure win is the Skeens game. Like that's wild to
Yeah.
say that I think we have the best chance
Hey.
there, but I
Yeah.
think I think they can pull out another one. Like I think we could get another really wild game like the Doyle walk off from last year, just depending on how many innings they let Freeland
Yeah.
and Lorenzen go in their respective starts. But we also have got to have somebody that can give us some innings because what happened to Sean Sullivan yesterday? Like, wow,
He got torched. I mean, PCA though, like 3 straight games with a home run. The guy is from another
that was a
planet. I
terrible
mean,
call yesterday. Oh,
it
can we
was.
talk
It was
for
a
like
foul ball.
2
Yeah.
seconds about
Yeah.
how fantastic it was when he got picked off the second he got the cycle?
I thought it was perfect. I'm like, yes. Like I'm happy for PCA, but also like yes. And like in the crowd, it was just funny to see the crowd how they were like cheering,
Just
like they were like
sit down.
hugging each other, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, and then he just sat right down. Like honestly, like I've seen like it felt like that cycle didn't feel like a cycle, even though he hit it. It was just like,
Mm-mm.
oh, he got on base again, and then it's just like, oh, he got out. It's just like it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
But
I'm not a big PCA fan. So it's not that I don't
yeah,
think he's not a great player, but I also think that there's a lot more hype around him than there should be. But
yeah,
all that aside, it was really funny, and my favorite part of the entire thing was Spilly's "See ya, enjoy the ovation." I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
okay, Spilly, a little bit petty, but I
yeah,
like it. I
yeah.
like that kind of energy. But
I love
Boston,
Sterlin.
yeah, Pirate. I don't know. I don't know if I think I'm kind of on the fence because I know you said 2 and 3 for the Pirate series. I don't know that we win that one just because of who's bookending who's in the pitching. But
Yeah,
the Red Sox series, I think we will have Mickey back, and I feel good about that
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. Again,
because
this
we've
could
got
change. The Red Sox could get hot, but the Red Sox in their last 10 games are 2-8, and they are on a 4 game losing streak heading into tonight.
yeah,
And I think I'm
yeah.
not
I
sure
was
if they've
just
already
looking at
played
that
tonight,
too.
but I need to check their road stats or their road record. There's they're better on the road than they are at Fenway, which is kind of shocking. Um, and we're seeing a
They
lot of teams like
lost to
that.
the Blue Jays
Yeah.
today.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, I mean, the Red Sox are 12-25 in Fenway. Like, hello? Are like,
Yeah,
what's
how's
going on
that
there?
happening?
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, they're 500 on the road, so that's one thing to watch out for. But still, I mean,
Mhm.
they fired their manager, which is very questionable. And then even some of the Red Sox players earlier in the year, they were like, "We don't approve of this. We don't like this. We liked Alex
Mm-mm.
Cora." And there's just
It
like
is.
front office issues, and it's just a mess over there. And that's like I like again, even Trevor Story was like, "Yeah, they did those guys wrong." It's just like, yikes! Like it's really bad
The
over there.
entire
Um,
coaching staff just gone, and I don't and I will be 100% honest about it. I think that Boston's front office is more of a disaster than the Rockies was. Like that,
yeah,
it's absolute
totally.
chaos. Like
Well,
and
it's all
it feels like it
yeah.
happens all the time with them.
Well, like from what I've listened to from Foul Territory with like AJ Przinsky and then
Hmm.
Kevin Rosenthal, like like I remember when they were talking about it like a couple months ago, like the ownership and even the front office is all about power. How much power do they have with that team? Because
Hmm.
it's just like I want this, I want that, and it's just like they can't agree on anything, and the fans and the players are just stuck right in the middle. They can't really do
Yeah,
much, and it's a disaster. It's all for power in that team, and I mean, again, it's one of the best franchises in baseball, one of the most historical franchises in baseball. You kind of get it,
and
but at
look
the
what
same
they've
time,
done
though, it's
to
just
it.
look what they've done to it. Exactly. And so, if we thought the Rockies were bad, and it was bad, don't get me wrong. I mean, we're going to end on it here in just a
Right.
second because I want to get to a comment, but it's
Yeah.
really bad over there in Boston. And I can say the same thing with other teams in like Pittsburgh or whatever. But yeah,
hmm
Boston is not a happy place to be at.
Well, and the thing is, like with the Rockies front office before this whole switch up, it was just bad. Like it just
Yeah.
wasn't. It's like nobody really knew what they were doing, and they were making terrible decisions. But over there, it is like you said, it's a power struggle. It's who's in control. It's who can do this and who can do that. And if the wrong person tries to step up and say, "I don't like this," see you later. Like, I mean,
Goodbye. You're fired.
it's
Yeah.
it's wild. Like it's just they Rockies fans, of course, have a very negative sentiment about Dick Monfort, but at the same time, like I didn't see that. Like he was putting almost too much faith in a lot of people. Was putting
Yeah.
too much faith in a lot of people,
Yeah.
whereas John Henry is over there just like, oh, I'm sorry, what did you just ask me? See you later. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, like no sit down discussions whatsoever. Okay, if you don't agree with me, you're out. It's just like whoa, whoa, whoa. Like
hmm
this should be a group discussion. And then not to
Yeah.
mention that when they were talking about that, and I think it was even the players and John Henry and like Craig Breslow, like the players weren't even allowed to talk about it. Like, excuse me, like they should have the freedom.
hmm
They should have the right to do that. They're players. Like they play for
Yeah.
you. The players play for you guys, and yet you won't allow them to have the freedom to say whatever they want and what they think about it. Like,
hmm
why don't they have their own personal opinion? It's just like it's bad. But one thing I do want to talk about, Sarah, before we head into our little last comment here that we were asked this morning. How about Freddie, like coming over from Germany to explore the country for the World
I love
Cup?
Freddie.
He's
Oh,
awesome.
I love Freddie. Like and that has been like anytime somebody starts to get kind of crappy about it, I'm like, shut up. I'm not even. I have blocked so many people that I've seen in the comments talking bad, to like trying to say bad stuff to Freddie. I'm like, no, go away. You're done. I don't ever want to see
Don't go,
anything
yeah,
you
go
have to
away.
say ever
Yeah.
again. But it's been so cool. Like, and I think probably my favorite thing about Freddie is that all of these big things that have happened to him have just been like completely organic. Like when
Yeah.
JJ Watt reached out to him, Ella Langley, okay, what?
Yeah,
Freddie
I
is
mean,
5 hours
yeah,
away from me right now seeing Ella Langley.
yeah. Oh my
But
word. Yeah.
but I love that when these big like somebody from Vegas offered to fly him out to Vegas after the Ella Langley concert on a private jet. He ignored it. Sexy Red was trying to get him to
Oh,
stay in New Orleans for her concert. He
yeah.
ignored it. And I'm like, you know what, Freddie? I love you. He's being
No, it's,
selective about the offers that he's taking, but it's been
yeah.
such a cool, authentic experience to see him just so excited about everything he's finding.
Yeah, I mean, he went to his first baseball game in Houston, I think,
hmm
yesterday. But yeah, like, and then I'm not sure if he went to Fenway because he's like going all
mm
around the country. Like he's been in like he went to Waffle House for the first time I think a few days ago, and then he's going throughout the country. I hope he comes to Colorado. It would be awesome if we could get some soccer fans in Denver. That's why I'm kind of a little bit bummed out that we didn't get any games in Denver because I think it would have been a perfect
mm
spot for a lot of people. You get to see the Rocky Mountains and everything. Um, but yeah, no, the World Cup has been awesome to like see all these people trying different things. It's so viral. I'm like on my Instagram just scrolling through, seeing people from like Australia and Texas. Like I'm getting,
hmm
brisket for the first time. This is amazing. Or they're going to the first baseball game, and I don't know if you saw this, but like the other day, yeah, I think Scotland is playing in was it in New York or no? I think it might have been Boston or New York, but Scotland fans were at Fenway and they were doing the whole like chant thing, and which is great for
Yeah,
baseball because it's just like
they
this is
marched to
helping
Fenway.
baseball. Yeah, it was so beautiful,
Yeah,
and then yeah,
Freddie has been, I think he flew into Atlanta, if I have been following him correctly. He's just been through the South. Like he's been through
yeah,
Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, southeastern Tennessee, and then into Louisiana. And now he's in Texas. Well, tonight he's in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. He said
Mhm.
4th of July he should be in Kansas City.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I think there's a game going on, right? Like I think that's when the
Yeah.
game started going to Arrowhead. Yeah.
Yeah, Kansas City's got a bunch of games that'll be played up there. My son is trying to go to a few of them. I was like, listen, if you find out
Wow.
Freddy's there, I need you to go find
We're
this
going.
German kid. We love this German kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been so fun though. Like I've
Yeah.
seen some people that like you can tell they're trying to like sell themselves or build some kind of brand, and Freddie's just out here living life. I think that's why people have like latched onto him so much.
Yeah. It's awesome. I mean, he was on the news. I think like on
Yeah.
some news outlet. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, and then I think
Mhm.
he tried was it like Chick-fil-A for the first time, and he tried Taco Bell, and he was like the most magical place on earth. And it's just a random Taco Bell in the South. I'm like, I love it.
He
And
went to
it's just like
Texas
trying to yeah.
Roadhouse last night, and I was like, yes, man. When they found Buc-ee's, I was like, that's it. You're
You
American
know
now.
what?
Like,
Hey, he needs to go to Colorado and go to Taco Bell when the Rockies score more than 7 runs. He could get
right?
like
We need
that
to get
taco
him a Rockies
special.
taco special.
Yeah. So Freddie, if you're watching, go to Colorado. We got some people to hook
Oh,
you up with. Like, yeah.
Freddie's at Ella Langley right now. He does not care about anything we're saying.
Yeah, unfortunately, but hey, you never know. You know,
Maybe
people.
he'll catch
If
the
you're watching,
replay somewhere.
yeah, on Twitter or YouTube, if you're watching, get the word out. Like, you know, tag Freddie in our comments. Like, tag Freddie. But anyways, I want to get to the question because we got to get out of here tonight. So this was a very good question. I woke up this morning, Sarah, to this question on Twitter from on the Rocks 5280. He says, "What's more important to the Rockies succeeding in the future, this year's draft or trade deadline?" Um, which is a very good question. I mean, I was
Hmm.
like both. But what I said was this, and again, you can find this on our Twitter feed or Twitter page on X, whatever you call it, Twitter or X. This is what I said. I said this is a very good question. While we would say both are vitally important, I think you have to go with the draft. The Rockies have had generally really good drafts in their franchise history, but the issues we've seen for so many years has been the development of these drafted players under the previous administration. While some turned out to be good players, there were some that we were promised to be superstars, aka Ryan McMahon or Brendan Rodgers. Those are examples. Um, they had decent seasons with us, and you know even Ryan McMahon. Like I mean, he's not been great, but he's doing okay. But they are nowhere near as the player that we were expecting, right? Um, and I
Hmm.
put out, you know, I'm probably forgetting other names out there, but then you look at pitchers. You know, we've seen several talented homegrown pitchers leave Colorado and succeed on other teams, like Carlos Estevez. I listed Jeff Hoffman. He was kind of a late pull. Ryan Rolston, which we just saw in Chicago. He's looking
Hmm.
like he's found the groove with the Cubs, and the list goes on. And then I mentioned that there's been several players, and we've talked about it on the podcast, that have said very negative things about the previous administration and how bad the development
Hmm.
was under Jeff Bridich and Bill Schmidt. And then I mentioned, or I said that this is why we've been bad for several years. It's when you don't have good development in the minor leagues, it is going to translate not only to all the farm systems, but it's also going to translate to your big league ball club. And D. Podesta said this when he came over here in the offseason. He said, if you have a bad minor league system, you're going to have a bad team in the big leagues. So it's just that's the way
Yeah.
it works. Um, maybe not years, maybe not like 30, 40 years ago, maybe in you know because of Ben, like minor leagues weren't really that they weren't really around. I mean, they were kind of around, but they weren't that important. Um, and while the deadline is very important for the Rockies this year, the draft is almost more essentially important for this team. It's a tone setter of where your club is heading. Um, and I just said that we have the right people in place now with DePodesta and Burns. And yeah, I think, you know, if you're looking at the draft, the Rockies, I think they're going to do pretty well, just given the fact of who we have now in the front office. These guys have draft and development experience. I mean, talk about Burns, Josh Burns coming over from LA. I mean, he was the guy that drafted all
Hmm.
those superstars for the Dodgers who are there right now. Or Cody Bellinger,
Yeah.
you know, he was drafted by Josh Burns. So we have the right people in place. We just need to turn it around. And it's going to take a while. It's not going to be a 1 year thing. It just, we got to develop players right.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, and this is probably going to be a very hot take to some people that are listening, I don't really care about the trade deadline this year. I don't.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because to me, anything that's happening at this trade deadline is, rather than being a solution, like being a current solution, it's going to be a future puzzle piece, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
And because I just don't, we're not going to trade for a superstar. Why would
Right.
we? We've got all
Yeah.
these prospects that are knocking at the door, especially you're not going to see some big power hitting outfielder. We're not going to pick anybody up like that. If anything, maybe some arms. I predict most, I would say every move that's made is going to be for prospects. You're not going to see anybody that's ready to plug and play. Like, I just don't think that's what we're going to be looking at, which that is important because we need to rebuild this farm system. But at the same time, I think it is going to be more important what we do in the draft this year, because that's going to give you a more complete picture of what the goal is. The
Right.
deadline is everything that happens at the deadline is going to be a temporary solution. It's going to be
Yeah.
moving somebody that is not part of the bigger picture.
Hmm.
It's going to be, but at the same time, I don't even feel, there's a lot of people that are like, we need to trade Doyle, we need to trade Mickey, we need to trade Senza, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this. Where's your team if you do that? Like, what do we have?
Right.
What do we have
Yeah.
left? If you trade Senza, what do we have left in the bullpen
Yeah.
right now? Like, there is
Nobody.
no trade value. There's no trade
No.
value for anybody in the bullpen unless
Hmm.
another organization sees something that they think, I can fix that right now. I can
Yeah.
fix that very quickly. That's the only way anybody in the bullpen has any value other than Senza. And I mean, I know you could make the argument that that means you have to deal him, but even though this is a rebuild, the goal is still to win games. If you have
Hmm.
no arms, you can't. You can't. We don't have
Right.
anybody that is going to pitch a complete game shutout. We just don't have those pieces, and you're going to have to maintain some of that. And when is this the last year of his deal, or does he have another year?
Oh, Senza?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Tom, if you're in here, let us know. That's a good. I want to say it might
Let
be
me
this
look.
year. I think it's this year. Um,
I think so
yeah,
too.
I want to say it's this year because it's just like, I mean, his trade value. I mean, it's a good time, but at the same time, like you said, Sarah, like in some ways, you want to like, what if next year is bad too, and you don't really have a lot of players to trade?
Hmm.
Like, you need somebody to keep around, even if they have high value. And I know some people are like,
Yeah.
why didn't we trade this guy? Well, it's just like, well, maybe because they want to keep him around for next year, just in case if next year is really bad. And it's all strategy. It's really what it is. Sometimes it's like you don't understand it at first. I remember a couple of years ago when we didn't trade Cal Quantrill at the deadline, and people were upset. I was a little bit shocked as well, but then I realized, oh yeah, like obviously there were some calls, but at the same time though,
Hmm.
you don't want to trade a player just to trade a player. Like you want to get good
Yeah.
prospects in return. If you like, and I think that's what
Exactly.
happened a few years ago. Like we were given like really bad prospects for like Cal Quantrill, and the Rockies were like, nope, we're not doing that, which was good on Bill Schmidt to say
Yeah.
no, but it's just like
How often do you hear
that
that?
was right. I was about to say that. But yeah, no, it's just like you just like a lot of people like say, well, we need to trade this guy. Well, yeah, but you just don't want to trade him just to trade him. Like you want to get really like Moniak.
Hmm.
I don't want to say this. I feel like we need to extend him actually. Moniak needs to stay here forever because he's been great for us ever since he
Hmm.
came over here. But like if you want to trade a guy like Jimmy Herget, like you need to get like
Oh
a
man.
top a top 30 prospect. Like you need to because we were
Yeah.
able to get like I think well obviously we got Rock Riggio from the Yankees for Jake Bird. So like
Yeah.
you need to get guys like that.
Fleece the
Like
Yankees on
exactly
that
like
one.
that. And you know what? The Yankees they need a catcher and somebody was saying Hunter Goodman could be an option for the Yankees and while it would be sad, because
Get
it's like, okay,
out of
who's our
here.
catcher? No, like Hunter Goodman's our catcher, you know. And I'll be the first to admit it. I said this, and it still could have happened, but I admit that at the start of the year, I was like, I'm not super high on Hunter Goodman because I felt like he was going to have a down year after last year.
Mhm.
He's been almost better than he was last year. I mean, he's
Yeah.
still struggling with strikeouts, but like, I'm kind of shocked, and I think maybe he's our guy now, you know, a catcher. So extend him and Mickey
Yeah.
Moniak, you know.
So I pulled up Senza's contract. He is in the final guaranteed year of
Okay.
his deal. They do have a club option for next year. So to me, and this is personal opinion, like I said, probably going to be this. A lot of what I am saying right now in this point is probably going to be a very hot take to a lot of people. Um, to me, it makes sense because the other thing you have to consider in a rebuild is, are you bringing any veterans in, or do you already have those veterans in house? It's a very, very young team as it sits right now, where your veterans are Senzatella, Freeland, Lorenzen. Even like he's a great, I feel like he's a great leader in that he is very self-aware in the fact that he's terrible right now. He's not afraid to call. Like, I feel like he's good for leadership. Not great on the mound at Coors Field, but good for leadership. You do have some veterans there. But as far as your position players in the bullpen, it's Senza. That is your veteran. And Bernardino, you could kind of say that, but I don't think Bernardino is a permanent piece here either. Like, I feel like a lot of the guys that came in during the offseason are going to be the guys that you see go out at the deadline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like Troy is a clubhouse piece that needs to stay. Like Troy
100%.
Johnston
Yeah.
needs to stay in this organization because you need that guy. And Troy is that guy. Troy is the guy that keeps everybody up and moving. Like, that's Troy's job in this organization. It's a plus that he is a fantastic bat. It seems like he just finds a way to make stuff happen. Defensively, he is not the greatest, but that's okay. Like, we can live with that for what he produces on the offensive side. But you also have to stop and look at, people are like, you got to get rid of Doyle. For what? What
Yeah.
are you going to get for Doyle right now? Nothing.
Yeah.
He
Hmm.
started out cold as ice, and now long out with injury. Last year you forgotten Jordan Beck. This year, forget it.
Yeah.
Like, the guys that people think are losing their spots, there's nothing that you can get for them right now. But
Yeah. Yeah.
on the development side of things, something that I think might not be a bad idea is, because you've seen, like, look at Zac Veen last year compared to this year. Look at Sterlin Thompson last year compared to this year. Look at anybody that spent a little bit of time in AAA and is now up compared to how those call-ups were working last year. Much smoother
Hmm.
transitions. Chad Stevens is kind of an exception because he didn't really do a whole lot. Um,
Yeah.
but I feel like they're coming in more productive, and that goes back to that development side. So what if
Hmm.
Doyle and Beck both have options? What if you send them to Albuquerque to try to
Hmm.
get things right and work with some of that and get some more of that development that they didn't get a chance to get previously?
Yeah.
And you bring up
Yeah.
these guys that are now on fire. Make
Hmm.
that, whether it be temporary or not, maybe you build more value in those guys, or
Hmm.
maybe you get your pieces back that you thought you had at the beginning of the year. Like, to me, that
Yeah.
makes so much more sense than dumping guys that have no
Well,
value right now.
yeah. Well, you make a great point, Sarah, because it's just like, if the Rockies were to do something like that to Jordan Beck, like, hey, we're going to send you down to AAA to work on some things while we're going to call it, you know, Charlie Condon, that's going to create so much competition and excitement because it's just like,
Hmm.
now you actually are playing for something rather than like, we're just going to be random playing time just because we feel like it. No, like, you have to earn your spot. Like, the
Hmm.
Rockies are not going to give it out to a random guy that they just signed for like off the street like a couple weeks ago. You know, like Jordan Beck, if he wants to get back in the on the field in Denver and get regular playing time, he's gonna have to earn for it. And if Cole Carrigg or Troy Johnston or whoever is playing in the
Yeah,
outfield,
and
they got to earn their spot back for it.
mhm. Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
I think it goes back to what the front office and what Warren preached in spring training. This is going to be a competition.
hmm
There's your
yep,
competition right there. Do you want to stay on this team? Do you? And I mean, I don't
yeah,
know if the front office doesn't turn over, there's probably a lot of these guys that are probably like, please get me out of here. But I think
yeah,
now with all the changes, you've got a lot more of them that are like, I wouldn't
yeah.
mind being a part of what is happening here because you see a lot of
hmm
like I know everybody wants to look at the record and wants to look at the bullpen exploding for whatever reason over the last month or so and look at all the negative things, but there's a lot
yeah,
of really good stuff happening. People just
yeah.
aren't looking at it because it's so much
hmm
easier to see what's bad.
Oh, 100%. And like again, people look at the Rockies and think, oh, they're horrible. Well, again, yeah, they're bad, but like compared to where we were last year, we're not even close to where we were last year.
Completely different.
Um,
Everything's
yeah,
completely different. Even other
I,
teams or even the Dodgers said this is not the same team. Like
hmm it's
there's
the
a lot to
Dodgers that said
be
that. Yeah,
yeah, there's a lot to be excited about and people are just kind of
Mhm.
overlooking it and just going straight to the record or going straight to that meltdown in the 8th inning that happens every game now for whatever reason, but it's still
yeah,
there's a lot to be excited about, and I think that that spirit of competition is going to start to get more fierce. At right now, you're not going to see Doyle and Beck go anywhere because they're both on the IL. They're going to sit there till
Mhm.
they're ready, but
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them get set down for a rehab start and not come right back up.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that out of the question. I mean, again, they got to earn their spots. I'm not saying that they want them to suffer down there. It's just like they need to earn their spots back. Like,
And I,
you know,
I don't know that
it's what.
any Yeah, I don't know that any of these guys would look at it as suffering right now. I think they see where their holes are. I think they're all very
Mhm.
self-aware of what their situation is. Like when Beck did get that one home run, he was like, I needed that. I need like he knows.
Yeah,
He knows where he's
yeah,
sitting at. Doyle knows where he's sitting at. They both know there's something not right. And I
yeah,
think that's the thing I like about the guys on this team. I think they all have the mindset of how do I fix it? And if that's what I need to do to fix it, then that's what I'm going to go do. I don't think anybody is going to be hurt by being assigned down to Albuquerque. You're getting put
yeah.
on the hottest offense in the PCL. Why not? Go have fun with it.
Yeah, become an all-star. For
Mm,
the Isotopes.
right? It's a great low
Charlie
pressure
Condon.
way to go get right.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah,
to me it
Charlie
really
Condon.
is.
I'm not sure if they've announced like whenever the All-Star game is down there, but I'm sure he's probably going to be on the roster.
Oh,
Like he has
I
to.
don't know how I don't know how you couldn't have like Ryan Ritter's
Right.
going to be out on that just because he was hurt for so like I feel like Ryan Ritter didn't play
Zac
for
Veen.
2.5 months.
Yeah,
How you
Zac
exactly how
Veen.
you not going to have
Yeah,
Zac Veen on there?
right. Like he's got to be on there. Same thing with like again, like I said, Charlie Condon and Zac Veen. They got to be on there. But yeah, no. It's definitely something to watch. And I'm so excited to see what's going to happen because really, like we talked about earlier, it's going to all start with the draft. Like who
Mhm.
I have no clue. This is like the first time in like forever. I have no idea who the Rockies are going to draft. That's why I'm like I haven't made any posts about any draft prospects because it's just like we
No
don't
idea.
know. Like no idea,
Uh,
and that's that's the excitement part of it now because it's just like while it was like we've had some very good drafts the last few years. It's not been the drafts. It's like I said, it's been the development. And so, but now
mhm.
since we have newer, better people that actually know what they're doing, they know baseball, they live and breathe baseball every day. Like I feel much more happier. I can sleep well at night now knowing that we have people in the front office that know their job and that have been successful. They've drafted superstar players out of this, and so.
Mhm.
Um, all I say before we end tonight is that there's a possibility, and I said this like multiple times. There's a possibility that like Jordan Beck, and I know he still has his options. He's on the hot seat to potentially getting off the team because it's just like you got to perform well. If you don't perform, we'll just
Mhm.
find somebody to play that spot for you, and that's why the whole purpose of being sent down potentially being sent down to AAA to work on some of the stuff, your holes, and In the meantime, this guy is playing much better than you are. You need to earn that spot back. And if
Mhm.
those players still continue to struggle in the PCL, either you try to come back in the spring and work on that and try to get back on the roster, or either you're out the door, but that's
Yeah.
baseball. Sometimes you have to make the tough decisions in order to have a successful ball club. And we've seen the Rockies do that. Like we saw that this past off season. We said goodbye to some, awesome players. Michael Toglia, I know that was a rough player to say goodbye to, and now he's starting to look like he's hitting bombs again for Louisville. But it's a
It's
part of the sport.
he's getting that twin dad strength
Yeah,
super early. Like he has been
yeah,
on fire lately. So I'm
yeah,
super excited for him though. But it does like, we did have a lot of guys that are just Bernabel gone.
yeah. Hmm.
Yanquiel Fernandez gone.
Hmm.
Sean Bouchard left the game. Like he is done playing baseball.
Yeah.
Like um there were a lot of things that happened, and I hate to see like Sean still. I understand Sean retiring because he dealt with it's like the guy couldn't stay healthy for
Yeah.
anything. But at the same time, you have to wonder, and I haven't heard anything about Bernabel or
Hmm.
Fernandez with their new
Yeah.
teams. Look at Drew Romo, absolutely breaking out over in Chicago. Chicago is on fire. Um, but a lot of these
Yeah.
guys, you have to wonder what, like, I said this at the beginning of the season. I have so many what ifs with so many of these players because what if they would have gotten the opportunity to get the development that these guys that
Yeah.
are there now have?
Yep.
What if they would have
Yep.
gotten the opportunity to get the coaching that these guys have to work with the analytics? Like, injury, you can't do anything about that. Sean's case is just kind of a one off with it, but everybody else, it's like because you'd see they were raking in out. That's why I think a lot of people don't trust stats as they translate from Albuquerque to Denver because
Hmm.
everybody that got brought up in the last couple of years was on fire in Albuquerque and ice cold in Denver. And it's like, what happened? Where
Yeah.
did you
There's
go?
like a there's like a hole from like double A to the bait. Like a guy would be hot in double A for Hartford, and then they would do well in Albuquerque for like a week or two, and then they might cool off a little bit, get called up. What happened? So
Hmm.
yeah, fortunately, hopefully, again, it's still going to happen. You still have players who do that, but it's just like you want to see continual improvement, and we just never saw that. It was just like you'd have some players have a nice couple of games or one game or two where Sean Bouchard would have a two-homer game, and then the following week he would go 0 for like 13, and it's just like with 7 strikeouts. Like what happened here? And we saw that a lot with Ryan McMahon too. Like Ryan McMahon would have these stretches where he'd be like the hottest hitter in baseball, and then for like 3 weeks
Oh,
he couldn't get on base. I'm like, what's going on here? And again, it happens to a lot of
yeah.
players, but I also think a lot of it has to do with the development this team was under. I mean, guys that were
Hmm.
underqualified or not even qualified to be coaching or doing whatever, and it's just that. Fortunately, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
um, but yeah,
Yeah, it's all in
again,
the past. It stinks for those
yeah,
players. I feel like
right,
we
yeah.
did so many. The Rockies organization. I don't want to say we. I wasn't involved in that. The Rockies organization did so many of these players so dirty, and I hate that for
Yeah,
them. But I mean, it
yeah,
is what it is. Everything is different now going forward, and I think we're already seeing, especially with these guys like Cole Carrigg, like Charlie Condon, like the turnaround that Zac Veen has had. I can't. If you follow me on X, you already know this is what I do every single day: is yell and scream into the void about what Zac Veen has done from last season to this season, and hopefully somebody is listening. But Clint Hurdle has liked a lot of my posts about Zac Veen, so you know what? Somebody's hearing it.
we love
I'm
you, Clint.
doing
We
my
love you,
part.
Clint. Yeah,
We do love
yeah,
Clint. Clint's great.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
we got to have Clint on here sometime.
Oh,
But
yeah. Stay tuned, guys. That's coming soon. That's coming
yeah,
soon.
it's just but yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, that's where we're at, really.
yeah, yeah. So again, stay tuned to our socials. We'll keep you tuned. And again, it's kind of that year where we're starting to see some trades. It's already happening. We saw a trade the other day. I think it was like the Red Sox made a trade. So it's trade season. It's
Mhm.
starting to heat up. So again, stay tuned to our socials. We'll try to keep you covered over there. Um, I'm just I don't want to see a Mickey Moniak graphic up there. I really don't. I don't want to see a Troy Johnson graphic either. I want to see all these guys stay. Like, obviously, I don't think we have to worry about Rumfield. But anyways, I think that'll do it. We had a great conversation tonight. I had a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys did as well. Thank you so much for watching wherever you're from or listening. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, we appreciate all of you. We'll be back next week for another fun Rockies conversation. But until then, go Rockies.
And go vote for Hunter Goodman for All-Star.